Cutwell Connect.
Hey, y'all go support my boy now.
Today is gonna be like a different type of day. I really want to speak more so on like myself, cause like one thing I learned, you can never tell somebody or speak to somebody of what they should do, for they shall only do what they gonna choose to do. You cannot force no one to do what they not gonna do. Now don't let that go over your head. For a lot of times, I used to always try to like, I would catch myself be like, hey bro, you should really try to do this. You should do. They not gonna do it. I don't care how many times you tell them that, they not gonna do it. They gotta wanna do it themselves. Period. And a lot of people would tell me stuff like, hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do that. I'm not that type of person. I cannot be told by somebody of what I should do, because I'm not gonna do it. That's just me. But like, it seemed like since I've truly got an understanding of who my God is, he pretty much guides me. Like, I don't really act off of anything. Like, he pretty much just placed me where I need to be placed, and I just be there until I'm moved again, you know? Like, he is very much amazing. Like, he'll pull a miracle in any given moment. When I first started my spiritual journey, I was in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Like, I know it took me a long time to blossom. Like, I know I was the one to go to church and hated going to church. I dreaded it. Like, why are we going? Why do I have to get up so early? Why this? Why that? So happened, things in my life kept happening. COVID really just opened my eyes up, because I was a barber, which is I'm still a barber now, but I never saved any of my money. So when COVID hit and it was like, hey, there's no more cutting hair, you have to fall back. If we catch you cutting hair, we're gonna fine you all of this crazy money. And I was in my head like, wow, I never saved any money. Never. I never saved any money. So in my head, I'm like, wow. So what am I gonna do now? I'm just sitting there like, yo, like really lost. Like, I was really lost. And plus I was coming off a very difficult breakup and going into a different relationship at the same time. So like my head is spinning. Like, I'm really just, we ended up losing a job at Tim's Barbershop for the moment. I ended up moving into an apartment with a girl that I previously been dealing with in the past. We ended up getting back together in some type of way. And we ended up moving to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Mind you, that is not a good place to be at. Pine Bluff it's just not, you know? It's just a lot of people who have nothing to live for, that I feel like. Because I seen a couple people, like, they may have nothing to live for. Like, they would kill you down there in Pine Bluff. That's me. And so I'm in Pine Bluff with my well, I ended up actually marrying this girl, you know. We in there, and every day they party, they party hard. And I was, at that point in time in my life, I was partied out. I partied since I was probably 15 all the way up till 22. I partied hard as possible. Like, that's all I ever did was party. I lived for it. And I just got tired of it. And then coming into this new situation, I was still tired of partying. So somehow, some way, things started to change. She ended up getting a job, like, which is, you know, she was in college at UAPB. She ended up getting a job in Conway because, you know, COVID closed their school down. So she ended up getting a job in PB. I mean, not PB, in Conway, Arkansas, that's where her mother stays. So she ended up moving to Conway. And in my head, I'm like, perfect. I actually do love Conway. Conway is actually a decent area. Like in my head, I love Conway. So, cause I'm from Marlton, Arkansas. That's right next to Conway. So when she moves to Conway and she ended up working at Kroger's, and I'm still back and forth because I'm like with my dad at my parents' house in Hot Springs, and I'm just driving back and forth. And I'm really looking like, bro, I don't know if this is it. I don't know if what it's gonna turn into, if I truly like her or what it is. But so happened, I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit because this gets long. So let's fast forward. We dealing with each other, and like this is like the tipping point. As I'm leaving from her mom's house, this was just crazy. I like, this blew my mind. As I'm leaving from her mom's house, on my way to Hot Springs, it's late. I fall asleep at the wheel and almost lost my life. Almost lost my life. And you know what in my head, what I'm thinking, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what my future wife told me? She said, I don't know why you didn't just stay with me. I don't know why you just didn't get in this bed and just sleep and stay with me. And it seemed like my whole time throughout this relationship, I was fighting to get away from my future wife, which is what God was providing me with my wife. He gave me my wife. And the whole relationship, I was fighting not to be with my wife, it was the devil trying to keep me from being with what God has provided for me. It's crazy. So every time I would try to fight to not be with my wife, I would always come across bad situations. And I'm gonna give you another one. Let's fast forward some more. After that, I'm steady trying to fight this relationship. So I got put in a position where I was able to get an apartment. It's huge, a 3-bedroom apartment. The rent was very much fair. Like I didn't trip about the price. I was actually able to afford it. And she just, you know what I'm saying? And God put me in a position where the only way I was able to get the apartment was if she was to get the apartment with me. Crazy, right? It's crazy. So I'm steady like, no, I don't want it with you. I don't want you to get this apartment with me. I want it for myself. I want it for me. And I was thinking wrongful. Because God, like, mind you, God was trying to provide me with my wife. He wasn't trying to provide this situation for nothing else more than for my future wife. And I'm steadily fighting it. But hey, somehow, like I said, the only way I was able to get this apartment was if I got it with my future wife. And look what I did. I ended up getting it with my future wife. And we ended up actually liking the place. Like, it was dope. And I ended up starting to pick up on God somehow. Like, at first I would just start praying. Like, okay, cool. I pray here and there. Cool. That's just like me starting out. And I was like, man, let's try something else. I want to try fasting. Boom, I started fasting. My life changed. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna do this once a week. So I left off on fasting. So boom, because the story gets deep. I know I kind of mixed it all up, and I fast forward a little bit, but we're gonna leave it off when I started fasting, because this is when it gets colossal. Holla at y'all. Stay up and stay highly blessed, for God got all of us. He'll never leave us. If you truly want to believe, simple, just do your research, and He will show you who He is.